confuse life, even though life's a gift. I'm born to death, but you still born to grift. And me, I don't miss. Keep your flagship crypto trash. Be ready for the paradigm shift. The cold wallet seed phrase say magnifique. Liquidity pool looking up at Diddy like Meek. One hand wash the other, both hands wash the face. In these DeFi streets, you best protect your cheeks. I'm from the planet Alawanapana. Had some jewelry for my wife to keep cause I don't wanna pawn her. And after taking secrets from Victoria, I may wall upon her. Or we drink from the Casamiga cause I'm a wall upon her. Call me Bujetta who never lies like Geppetto. I may rock some suspenders like Pinocchio in the ghetto. Look, before I continue, man, a lot of y'all who've been in this space and been in this ecosystem came from arbitraging.co, Ether Chain, Tron Chain, T2X, Bankroll, all these DeFi things that have since just rugged the people, man, amount to nothing. And you fading HEX, Pulschain, PulseX, and Ink. Man, it's a shame, man. You forgot where you came from, suffering from hubris and pride and ego. It is what it is, man. Some of us are holding true to what's real and what's going to take us to where we need to go. Pulsechain ecosystem, man. RH ecosystem. Pulsechain, HEX, PulseX, and Ink. Nothing more to talk about, man. Peace. Oh, yeah. And one more thing. The greed factor. Don't be too greedy, man. Don't be too greedy, man. That could overcome you, man. That could definitely overcome you.
What the hex is going on, ladies and gentlemen?
Good morning, you guys. When Bob's.
What the hex is you guys talking about?
With IT coin on the Pulsechain climb, harvesting memes from the digital vine. Our coin it soared, hit the top so dear. Laughs and dreams, we got plenty here. Farm on the meme side, always on the meme side. Farm on the meme side of life.
Wrecked! I got wrecked.
Okay, so what is the $64,000 question? Holy cow, I'm gonna have to tough it up now. Here we go. What's the $64,000 question for the field? What is the most asked question that I've received this week? What the hell are we supposed to do about .net, Steve? It's a very good question, and it's got a very, very clear answer.
Harbor walls.
The key to .net, the key to industry transformation, the key to success is
Harbor walls. 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 Harbor walls.
yes.
The biggest winner, of course, was HEX, and we want to know, well, what the heck?
What the heck? What the heck's happening?
What the heck is going on here? What was that? I forgot to put us back on the stream. I was so mesmerized by my own intro shenanigans. What the heck is going on? Welcome, everybody. God damn. And we have a guest, TrueBlue, the HEXenthusiast, is in the building.
Thank you for having me on. I don't know if you'll hear this, but this is what my son had to say about me coming on today. Hang on.
All right. Beautiful.
Yeah,
Nice.
Yeah.
Start him young.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
awesome.
He was keen as so. No, good to be on here. Thank you guys for asking me to come on and watch you pretty much every week. And yeah, I've always loved it. And that intro when he's just saying hardware wallet, hardware wallet, hardware wallet. That's me when I'm doing crypto. I just hear Papa every time. It's like like when your mum used to tell you something.
So
what? Hear them in your head. Yeah.
Wait, what you're saying is that I'm a fat, old, bald man that has a sweating problem. Is that what you're saying?
I was going to make sure you said sweaty. Yes, definitely.
Yes, yeah. He was sweating out of like the crook of his elbow there. He's sweating out of his wrists. That man sweats. That's a sweaty guy,
wasn't he? Yeah, exactly.
Well, but you know what? I can empathize, and it's so nice of you to bring that up at the beginning of the show, which is hardware wallets. Get your damn hardware wallets right now. I'm gonna give you a week grace that I kind of tuned out. I didn't get anybody telling me that they got nabbed. So I keep the tally is now at $3.5 million this year alone. This year alone, it's the end of May. Last bull cycle, we were at 1.3. We're now at $3.5 million robbed from our community. So use some damn sense and get your onboards on hardware wallets, or don't onboard them, is what I say.
Yeah.
Thank you. Sorry, TrueBlue.
These prices, these high prices. Are out.
Yeah, it's a lot of stuff, right? A lot of goodies have been nabbed out of wallets.
Yeah, no, it's awful.
Coin-wise, it's an astounding amount of tokens, raw tokens. But think about what they would be potentially valued at in the real bull run, the parabolic bull run, to blow off top type. Insane. It's insane.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But TrueBlue, thank you so much for joining us. And we see you watching. You're always leaving comments under almost every one of our episodes. So it is getting noticed, and you're shouting us out on other shows. You're streaming. Yeah, you're streaming a lot with the DeFi Down Under crew, which we always recommend as a channel to watch as well on our main channel page. Sadly, the DeFi Down Under doesn't recommend us as a channel. But they don't recommend anyone, so that makes it equal.
Yeah.
Except for TrueBlue.
Except for TrueBlue.
Exactly. Hey, I always send people your way to videos and stuff, and
you do, and that is
the security. But no, your stream's great. Such good humor, and it's not always just stuck to one topic either. I love that you just go wherever the conversation goes, and Papa starts saying some silly stuff, and then we keep going other ways, and it's always good. So great entertainment for an hour.
Well,
and I love
anyone.
Sorry.
Anyone that has this much loyal fanmanship and comes onto our show and survives, lives to tell the tale, is always welcome to return, as far as I'm concerned. So you're an official member of the team, like it or not.
Yes.
We just shanghaied you.
Very nice, very nice.
Only the first instance. No, but thank you for joining us. Let me say hi to the chat real quick before we go into your story. We got Tom Gillespie is a first today. How about that? You brought the Australian crowd with you.
That's it.
We got a Lazy Hexican in the house. A Toby, who owes us some TA, I would say.
Oh, yes.
Maybe later on in the show. We'll see. Alan Fizame is here. That's right. Crypto Wanda on the microphone. Yes. Part of our intro today. We've got a Wookiee on the chain. Where's my Wookiee noise? I have to scroll all the way down. There it is. Mrs. Avalon checking in. Hexy Quinn in the building.
Wow.
What is that?
What
is this emoji? What the hex? and that's it. So we have 5 people.
That's 4 more than usual.
Yeah.
And 50 Twitter bots.
50 Twitter bots. Yeah. At least.
Nice.
What is going on? What the hex is going on with these prices, ladies and gentlemen?
Or gentlemen, I should race say. To the bottom, and we won.
They're green. What's wrong with that?
Man, 4 zeros and a 4. Pulse X is 4 zeros and a 2. Are we trying to reach parity between Pulse and Pulse X, or what are we doing? Prices at all-time low, community infighting at all-time high.
Lovely.
Hate
That
to
means
see it. How about
That
you
means
guys?
it's bottom signals, all of them. Bottom signals.
Yeah,
Means I should have bought them.
Yeah, while everyone's down there, you know, punching on in a pit, there's a few of us just running the other way, or you know, standing around type thing, saying, "Hey, what are you all doing? You know, stop the fighting. Let's just do this together." So I'm all about the positive, you know, sentiment in community and things like that. I think we just need to, all keep going as one and stop all this stuff. You go onto Twitter and it's just fire, like flames everywhere. It looks like
It's very toxic environment on Twitter at the moment. Almost makes one not look and not be part of all this. But then again, I always in moments like this, I always try to turn to taking a step back, like zooming out a little bit, and then I realize that none of the fundamentals have actually changed. Like nothing has really changed. Besides the price, on the contrary, things have, I think, improved. Like the T-share payout that you currently get today, we have another 7.1 hex payout per T-share on both chains.
Nice.
HEX and on the Pulsechain side as well. So even if you're not buying or DCAing to your bag, if you're staked and if you have staking ladder, you're accumulating crazy amount of coins in these weeks, and nothing has really changed. So sometimes I don't really get why all this craziness is going on.
Because people can't stick around for years.
Is it life experience? Is it what is that?
It is. It is. It is. These kids today, they don't have this delayed gratification.
Entitlement generation.
Whippersnappers.
Okay, instead of 5, we now have 2 people left watching.
Because they were kids and they left.
Oh no.
Oh man.
That's a sentiment in itself, isn't it? That shows you. But yeah, no, it's very interesting. Yeah, I reckon if we just hold on tight and we really keep that conviction, you know, there's a few left that have that conviction with the, like you said, staking and things like that. It's all going to come back. Yeah. Well, I think so. Sorry, you go.
I was going to say the beauty of the whole mechanism is the more people that flee, the more your T-share payout is. The higher the sentiment is in terms of price, the more people come in, the lower your T-share payment is. So there's a self-balancing. I think Richard told us at the very beginning when he was designing it. There are all these self-balancing type of games that have longevity in mind. So we're experiencing one of those tipping points right now. If the 3 of us, for example, were the last 3 stakers, our payouts per day would be magnificent. And even if it was pocket lint, microscopic, microbial values of each token, we would be gazillionaires. So we just need to, of course, the liquidity has to be there, which it is. So you shouldn't be fearing anything. That's what my feeling is. What do you think, Blue?
Yeah, I agree. There's got to be at least us 3 and Toby 1 still staking. So
and
I
Alan
think we'll
Fizame.
I'll dump on Toby 1 any day.
Yeah, and Alan Fizame. Look at that. That's conviction. Another 5-5.
Just did a fresh 4-5 stake last week. There you go.
Amazing. So good. Yeah, and people saying, why haven't we done 100x yet, and why isn't Richard pumping it and stuff? If I wasn't even around at the last Hex run up or the Hex top, but that, as far as I'm aware, by the charts and what I've heard, is that was well after, or towards the end of the main bull run anyway. So why is everyone expecting
half
it already?
a year later? Half a year later, after Bitcoin and Ethereum had topped out, then the alts had a little bit of a run. It was every time is a little bit different. Like in 2017, Bitcoin topped out around Christmas, and then 3 to 4 weeks later, all the altcoins in Ethereum went crazy. It didn't really happen like this in 21. Everything topped out together sort of in May, and only then Hex started going on his crazy trajectory to 50 cents in September of 21. So really 4 or 5 months later. So every time is a little bit different. I'm curious to see how it's going to go this time. But I will
you're
stick
not curious
around to find
You're
out.
not- You're not curious. You're strapped onto the nuclear warhead and you're going down. You're curious to see how big the blast will be. That's all, right?
But TrueBlue, tell us a little bit your story for the people who are not familiar. I know you stream almost every week with the DeFi Down Under guys, as we said on the Friday show, isn't it? The
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
What's it called? The happy hour, exactly.
The Aussie
Down
happy
under,
hour. So
the Aussie happy
that.
hour.
Yeah.
And you get the nice Australian background there. Tell us a little bit about your story. How did you come to find out about Hex and Richard Hart and all of that?
Yeah. Well, a mate of mine a few years ago mentioned about Hex, and he was like, oh, he's got some, and he's watching the price, and always we're speaking every day, and he's like, come on, just go up, but funny enough, it was on the other side of the top, so it was only ever going to come down from there. Although I hear in Hexaco apparently it was always going to be up and to the right.
Yes.
But yes, so I don't know what happened there. But no, he sort of got me into it. Or sorry, we do know.
Log.
Well, we kind of know what happened, but yeah, it wasn't.
Yeah.
Wasn't
No, so
I
I just bought a little bit of Ethereum on a centralized exchange, and then decided right at the last minute, at the worst possible time, to do a little bit of a sacrifice for PulseX. So that's that tells you when I came in, and then I just started getting I almost said infatuated with Richard Hart. Not really, but just listening to everything he had to say. And at that stage, I wasn't very knowledgeable on crypto, but it was just like, man, this guy sounds like he's really speaking truth. He really has a good heart for people, and wants to do the right thing. And then I just went deeper and deeper into crypto and learning about it, and listening to him, and now my knowledge is, I guess, pretty good for what I know. And in this sort of circle around you, probably like all of you guys, in that circle around you, you're sort of like the crypto expert. That doesn't mean that doesn't mean I've done really well or anything like that, but I've certainly got a good hold and grasp of what it's all about, where I think we'll be in the future, and how to do it right. Doing it DeFi, but I still don't fade the fact that we need to encourage new onboards to use, to start with the centralized exchange. It's really the only way to do it, right? And even if it's $50 on there, and you just dip your toes in and you just see how it goes and watch it, and they can always just send it to a hardware wallet later when the bag gets a bit bigger, but they need to start somewhere. So if someone told me you can only do it the DeFi way to start with, besides doing the PulseX sacrifice, I knew nothing about DeFi. So I did play around on a centralized exchange for a while, except for that scary bit where I had to go onto MetaMask, buy Ethereum. I'm on there like, why can't I send it? And it's, you don't have gas, all this sort of stuff you need to send over. So it's a big learning curve. So, part of, I guess, what I would want to show people in the future is just the right way to do it, but to start off slow, and you don't need to jump in the deep end straight away.
So you came into the ecosystem right during the outrage marketing phase then of Richard.
Yeah,
it was. Yeah. His,
but did you actually go yeah, the handbags, but did you actually go back and listen to his older stream or some of his older streams?
Yeah,
because that was a totally different Richard.
Oh, absolutely. And I still do. And I still remember that one. I can't remember who it was with, because I don't know, the names of all the old, OG crypto guys, but when he was sitting around, they were sitting around drinking. They had like a glass table. There was a few of them on a couch. I think there was four or so of the guys all together, including Richard. And just listening to him, he was just, everything they had to say, he'd just be you know, he just had this real good vision. I could
Like
see
these other crypto YouTubers, you mean? I think that was in,
I think they were,
in Dubai at the besides some conference. I think it was.
That would have been it.
Yeah.
But just his clarity of the way he would, you know, always say things. It's just he already knew. It was it's just unreal how he just seems to exactly know where everything's going. He's always ahead of everyone. And just speaks with such conviction. So I have listened to a lot of the older stuff. And even when I do, or they come up on Twitter, you know, different snippets of his videos, it's just like, my goodness, like,
but that's so refreshing to hear, because that is my story in a way too. I'm invested in Hex because of Richard, not because of, you know, I only found out later about the great mechanics and the game theory of it all, but it was Richard who captured my attention and kept me interested, because there was really a terrible bear market back then in 2018, 2019, and I was almost like done with it all. And then along comes Richard Hart and his own project, which really instilled some fresh energy into that whole thing, and that goes for many of the OG Hexicans, I think, because these days people who are joining new, who have a voice in the community, they're mostly here because they seem to see a certain chart structure, or they're just here for the green candles or short-term bull runs, not really for the whole philosophy. So that is.
But hold on a second, DJ, because I was around. I was around years before. Following Richard for a long time.
Get off my lawn.
Get off my lawn.
Before the
before
we had ice cream.
Yes. Before we were even a proto community. But the thing is that the tenets of Richard instilling upon the proto community and later community were what? Truly, don't forget, this is a financial game, but played the right way, that can lead to betterment of yourself, your culture, your community, your society, and then the world. So why do we think that this type of massive sea change in the corruption that's out there is going to be an overnight type of revolution? Do you remember the clip of Brian Gumbel on like Good Morning America or whatever it is, saying that the internet is cute? And it's probably doesn't have any applications after this email thing. That was like, it took 5 more years for that to actually be rolled out, so people could actually get their own emails outside of their offices, right? So please remember, for all the pain and all the craziness, and TrueBlue, I because you've probably more recently gone back than DJ and I have and seen those snippets. Correct me if I'm wrong, but Richard envisioned and was prepared for and almost invited for validating the entire concept of Hex as a community and as a whatever. He envisioned that he would come toe to toe with the SEC at some point. And he had answers to each one of those moves that they were going to make. And that's why he really carefully structured Hex the way it did, so it wouldn't be a security, not just one way, but in every freaking way. And then finally, I think that the validation of the community of the entire thing is right now hinged on Richard's very well entrenched fight with the SEC. I think he's really well prepared to go after them because he's had so much time to think about it. And thinking is his strong suit. Therefore, do you have any doubt when it comes to, forget the price and the charts. If you come for the man, DJ, do you have any doubt in the man today?
No.
Absolutely not.
Nor do I. And that's the point, I think. What do you think, TrueBlue?
I agree. Even in some of his videos, first off, I'd like to see if the SEC has any of his streams up their sleeve that they're going to pull out and say, look, you said this or you said that. Because when I listen to them, he could be talking about, what the ecosystem could do or what Hex could do, and then he can get halfway into the next sentence, and then he's that clued on that he goes, oh, by the way, that was not forward-looking financial advice or something like that. And so he hasn't forgotten. Every time he does it, even if it's, you know, a few seconds later, he still remembers exactly what needs to be said or the way to say things, and he's very strategic. And I would love to see if he has actually slipped up, because I haven't seen any proof yet from, you know, any of these people in the community that are starting to sort of turn their heads on him. And anyone bring up anything that actually shows, you know, some real convicting evidence on him in his streams. So, yeah, I love his posture with it all, and I love how he seems to be working ahead of them. He knew they were coming. He was probably egging them on. And the outrage marketing was a good thing, I think, because it even ends up now he can just say he was doing it for a movie. He was, you know, being an actor for a movie, so he was just had all these things around him, and he was practicing his role even.
Yeah. And it brought eyes, fresh eyes on the product. I mean, the people who are here from before that time, you know, yeah, well, that's, you know, we all had our opinions and thoughts about the outrage marketing, if we liked that or not. But this wasn't meant for us because we're already here. This was for new people to be attracted to him and his teachings and his ideas. So, and we could see in the amounts of followers that he gained in the Google stats of interest about Richard Hart and Hex, and press coverage then with the diamond and all that. So this totally worked in terms of marketing. And he's a marketing expert. That's what he does. That's what he built his first company around. It was all about marketing and how to do that.
Hey, TrueBlue,
good at that.
I hear that, speaking of growing the community, I hear that you've procreated effectively in Australia. You have lots of spawn. So so basically we've grown the community by an exponential amount when it comes to your contribution of sperms and eggs alone. So could you please keep that up is my question.
We'll keep it up. I've unfortunately there won't be any more of that happening exactly, but but yeah.
Were you injured in the war? Is that the problem?
No, the surgeon got me. But yeah, no, even my 15-year-old daughter has hex stakes on her own ledger, which that was when you were preaching ledgers, Papa. So don't hold me.
Well, both. But yeah, I still do both, but the lower end, the lower skew. So that would have been a nano X, right?
Yeah.
No, sorry, a nano S.
Nano S, yeah. So she's got she's got, you know, hex stakes, even got some Desi and stuff like that. So yeah, pretty cool. And even things like Texan with you know, Crypto Heartbeat and that they've released. So some long stakes out there, and it's gonna it's all there for them. So she knows a little bit about crypto, and, you know, ask me questions here and there, and we'll just slowly do it. But hopefully the younger ones, it'll probably be all the younger ones know. Do you know what I mean? The way that the financial system's going, if that all burns down, it might be the only thing, and they'll be like, what was fiat money? You know, what was this dollars and whatever? So we'll see.
You know, you know, hold on a second. I want to talk about this real quickly, because you just touched on something very interesting. So the fiat system, you think for the next generation will be obvious that it's flawed, and you don't have any you see the powers that be just, you know, playing the shell game with you. It's like when you think you're gonna point to something, they just oh look, it's inflated and I've done it. I want this over here. Oh, look, taxes are higher now because we have to do this, and oh, look over here. Oh, interest rates are crazy. So, and none of this is in your control, right? You just have to simply roll with the blows as best you can and amass a huge stack of gains somehow, and then go pay for your sandwich with Weimar Republic type of, wheelbarrow money to go and get your loaf of bread. So that's what we fear. My question is, now in the United States, I mean, this is a United States thing, but we're all beholden to the United States when it comes to monetary whatever, because that's just the way it is. Yeah. But when you look at the next election, and the fact that Trump has come out and I guess his handlers have told him to pay attention to all the votes you could capture if you're friendly or if you are warm to the idea of
5
crypto
million
now.
already. 5 million in
$5
campaign
million
donations.
in crypto donations. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, that's just the raw donations. But think about the voter base that he just was told that there's like 40 million holders in the United States now, they say.
Yeah,
So he's like,
50.
holy crap,
Yeah,
I'm going to
yeah.
at least say we'll do
50
away with
million
Gensler.
votes.
Yeah. We'll do away with Gensler. We'll do away with this. And if you want crypto to succeed, you got to vote for me. Of course, nobody remembers Mnuchin was his Treasury Secretary, and he was very anti-crypto, as you remember. And Mnuchin's already saying, well, if he tells me that it's time to go back to work, I'll gladly serve for the president as a Treasury Secretary again. No expectations. But anyway, my question to you, TrueBlue, is with all this craziness, with Trump now saying that he's, in no uncertain terms, pro-crypto, that fucking... So
That's him.
That's him. That's him right there with the big mole. He's a really bad Bond villain. So check this out. So now that Trump is saying that he's pro-crypto in his spiel, and you've got Biden now allowing things to creep in that makes it kind of seem like he's ambivalent. To me, I think it doesn't matter who a politician is. The minute that they're in the White House, you're fucked. But tell me, how do you feel about what's going on here in this very polarizing type of debate?
Yeah. Well, first of all, wasn't that other guy from Austin Powers? Pretty sure that was him.
Pretty sure,
look, and I'm a long way away from all of that geographically, but we certainly see it, and being part of the crypto community, obviously you see it very easily online and social media and stuff. So I'm loving the angle that he's taking because I think that's it's a new age way, if you want to call it that, a new age way of going. And I think anyone that's gone with new age things in the past and really wraps their arms around that type of thing, I think they make great waves, and I think this will as well. And he knows what's going on. He's very smart in a financial sense. So I think he can see everything crashing and burning around him, and he's probably got ideas of where all this could lead in the greater sort of world scheme of things. But yeah, I don't think we can keep going the way we are with, I guess, the dollar, the US dollar sort of controlling, or not controlling, but everything reflecting what the US dollar does. Isn't going to keep going too well for much longer. So yeah, I think it's really good what he's doing, and the fact that he's got all those donations. I just want to also bring up that I'm pretty sure SBF was giving politicians donations in crypto a long time before any other of the general public would. So they know about it, and they probably all have secret bags of it, probably plenty, because they're not silly. These people are very clued on, and they know a lot behind the scenes. They'd get the heads up before all of us would. So they're probably all got huge bags of it. Yeah.
From an Australian perspective,
Probably not Biden. Probably not Biden.
Let's go, Brandon. No, but since this is one of these rare, cross-global streams that we're on right now, you're in Australia, I'm in Europe, Papa B is somewhere in the ocean, since we're on the...
As you can see to my left and right, I'm mid-Pacific, yes.
Isn't it annoying to you that the SEC, we're not American, but whatever they do affects our bags like that? It touches the chart, and we have got nothing to do with this. We didn't elect these people. What doesn't it? How do you feel about this from an Australian perspective? How the power they have over the financial markets like that on a global
scale? It's a very overreaching power. It's pushing the boundaries of what's okay, and I think they're just trying to hold on to that for as long as they can. Because if they let go of it, things are going to change in a big way. And that might be, that's exactly when we'll actually start getting somewhere as, as different nations, But yeah, in the way of the fact that someone just making a trade in the US could mean that it can be sanctioned. The whole thing could be sanctioned by the SEC is just crazy, because people in different jurisdictions, they've created or launched things in different jurisdictions, and they do all of that over there. But just one trade in the US, or someone loses their money, it means they can have a go at them. It's absolutely crazy. So yeah, being so far away is very frustrating with those types of things. And once again, because of the tax things over in the US or whatever, we, as Australia, we just reflect exactly what happens over there. So when we see something start in the news in the US, we just know it's going to start over here.
Yeah.
You know,
this actually might change. At least that's sort of the ticket that Trump is riding on, that they're looking at it more as commodities, and then they will take the powers away from the SEC regarding crypto, going towards the CFTC, I think is what it's called, to have them look after it, which is less dramatic, I'm hearing.
Well, we have a better track record of better policy.
You know, and that might actually be a good thing for us. But yeah, we'll see. But it's definitely the future. I mean, I've got some headlines here. Hold on, let me switch to this. So next up is, of course, the Ethereum ETFs, and they say already to start trading on June 4th, which is next week. So you know, I thought that'll be another month out, but this is coming. And BlackRock as well is close to launching their first spot Ethereum ETF, and it's rumored that, you know, they're spreading these headlines to create bullish sentiment to buy $10 million of Ethereum, which doesn't sound that much, to be honest, actually. But
no, that's my bag.
Yeah, no, but I'm thinking if they probably not buy spot, they will buy wherever, OTC, or they have it already. I don't know, but it's a headline.
I got a question. I'm confused. So ETHE is already a spot ETF that is trading now. So what is all this hoopla? Now, the SEC approved a whole bunch of ETFs.
Yes, multiple.
But not approved until a 10-day cooling off period for dissenting views. And
which
then
is on the 4th of June.
4th of June, yes.
Yes.
And then cleared for trading on the 4th of June. Is that correct?
That's pretty much.
There it is.
Yeah.
So and then and by the way, again, guys, leveraged. That's a big important thing because it's a leveraged ETF. The Bitcoin ETF is not leveraged, correct? The BlackRock ETF is a spot ETF. It's not a leveraged ETF. What? Tell me about this leverage.
The spot, new leveraged Ether ETF to start trading.
So does that mean that they settle in ETH or they settle in dollars? Because Richard always said something where you play leverage, but it's you know.
I think this is a totally different product here. It's nothing to do with the BlackRock ETF might start not on the June 4th, maybe.
No, how about the Van Eck and all the other ones?
Van Eck just said they're not going to launch theirs, so there's a bit of turmoil going on there. But bottom line, it's coming. I think this year is from a company called Volatility Shares.
Sounds very reasonable.
Sounds great. So that's just a leveraged Ether ETF. That's now BlackRock, I think, is spot ETFs, like spot Bitcoin.
Yeah, but okay. So check this out. So my contacts that run their own sub-billion-dollar hedge funds.
Ellen says settle in USD. Exactly. It's all paper crypto. It's not real.
So that's crap. So that's inflating. So that's good for the haters because remember what they said before. If it's settled in USD, then it's paper Bitcoin, paper Ethereum, which means it's inflating the amounts, which means it's going to hurt everything. So Richard pointed that out as a flaw. But anyway, my sub-billion-dollar hedge fund friends are all very excited about the Bitcoin ETF first because they believe finally it's legitimized for the their class of investment. And this is
Yes,
what we
they're trading.
always said.
Yeah.
Last time we said in the next bull run, there's going to be all of this institutional money, free and clear. Wall Street, if only 1% comes in, we're going to be freaking gazillionaires.
Yes.
Well, check this out. They're not talking 1% anymore. All three of these guys that I know are all talking exposure to 3%. That's 3 times your best scenario, right? We always said 1%, and that's all we need. But 3%, these guys are going to go in. That to them is full bore, because you think of all these oldies that come into their office and they open their little purse and they're like, what's your portfolio look like? And if they say, well, we're 3% Bitcoin Ethereum, they're going to be like, I'm going to shut this now and I'm going to go elsewhere. I'm on fixed income, dearie. I need to get a proper 6% per annum return, or else I won't have cookies to bake. So when they're talking 3%, that means that they know their audience, they know the market, and they know how to pitch it to the oldies that come in. They say, dear, don't worry, it's 3%, but that 3% could make up for 15% of your portfolio gains. So strap in your, hats and glasses, hold on to them, because this ride is going to be crazy.
Oh yeah.
And I hope they know that this is a cyclical market and that they're going to see their best gains coming up, and then they get the hell out and then rebuy in and go in for the long term. I really hope that things mellow out, because you think that like old people are going to say, well, every 4 years I get paid. And I can just see that every 4 years. The rest of the time I'm going to lose money. No. So the bigger plan with Wall Street is in place. I think we're going to see some freaking fireworks. But this paper Bitcoin and paper Ethereum thing, I don't know about that one, man. That doesn't sound good to me.
Well, BlackRock must hold a certain amount of Bitcoin as the underlying asset to the whole product, but it's not that the person who is actually buying shares of that is buying actual Bitcoin. No, they're buying
right. The SEC demanded that be part of the stipulation was that they settle in USD. What I was talking about was the leveraged one that's coming, the leveraged ETH one. That's altogether different. So in that sense, can people? Crazier. Yeah, that's because now you're talking about leveraged paper Ethereum.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's Robinhood all over again. But Robinhood doesn't even hold the underlying asset, so they're still better with the BlackRock stuff. But that's the Wall Street money coming in.
But what about my PayPal wallet? Isn't that all Bitcoin? Isn't that there? Can I have it?
Oh my god.
Yeah. Hey, those if that BlackRock thing was right, saying about the $10 million buy, that's pretty cute. It's pretty cute, because I'm pretty sure the Sacrifice wallet has about 50 times that at the moment.
That's what I'm saying. It doesn't sound that crazy, but hey, we got to start somewhere, I guess.
That's it.
But then BlackRock with the Bitcoin ETF, they already have overtaken Grayscale, who had their trust, product for a few years now. So they're really coming onto the market. So it's definitely bullish for what's ahead. You guys,
yep. And GBTC no longer trades at a well, it trades now at a premium finally. And Richard said we wouldn't have a bull run until the premium was back with GBTC.
Yep.
But GBTC could be just negated now with all these other things that are more high profile.
Exactly.
That's right.
Yep. But
it's bullish.
Yeah. Speaking of bearish, though, I think that Toby is going to make an appearance today.
Before we do that, I don't have a joke from Finbear, but I've got this.
Oh, it's all a joke. Look at the markets.
Yes. That's a machine. How about that? How about that, you guys?
And then there was a Toby.
And then there was a Toby.
Wow.
Without Toby.
Hey, hear me now, fellas. I don't even. Do I have my mic on? I don't even know.
We need a TA with Toby. Where's the TA with Toby, DJ?
You can hear me, yes?
Got ya.
Nice.
Hey, so I hope you can hear me.
We can.
Yes.
Yes, okay,
Sounds
cool.
great.
All right. So this is not even plugged in, so I'm just going to move that away.
I was just about to say,
one of those
the mic
days.
you need to speak
And
into.
this is as much, I put this on as much for myself as for, I feel like the greater vibe out there in social media. It's Butch Walker is a great musician, singer, songwriter. If you like him, this is a concert t-shirt of his.
Ooh.
Fuck your bad vibes.
Fuck your
All
bad
right.
vibes.
Fuck your bad vibes, man. And it's like, I too have now got a case of bad vibes. Papa, God bless you, dear real life friend of mine, has talked me out of my bad vibes a couple times this week. But man, it's a grind. It's tough, when you've been.
How
in
about
it
this
for
tweet from Huddle Dog? What do we what do we say to this?
Oh yeah, he's
really
looking for a
feel.
job. Hey, I just FYI, motherfucker is streaming right now, so live streaming. So I crashed his little Twitter post with a link to What the Hex. Because I'm like, hey, bro, I'm like, really? Now
Nice.
you're going to be streaming now? So we got like, 20 viewers, and he's got 120 over there. So I think we would have way many viewers if they weren't like, simping on Hexo.
Yeah.
Right.
Wait. Take a step back. Who's streaming right now over us?
Hexo streaming right now.
It's you know what? That's
And he's
not
been out of the
cool.
loop for a while. Whatever. He just, he streams when he feels like it. I'm sure it's not malicious.
That's not
I'm not
fair.
trying to steal your viewers.
Well, no. It's stop your belly aching. We got our loyal viewers here. We got TrueBlue, so we know we got one at least, right? There you go.
We got the real ones in the chat. So
You can watch Hexo on replay. It's not pertinent information.
And we're
Yeah,
we're doing a raid after this show straight to the Cabana Crypto Happy Hour. Okay.
Woo!
Oh, there
Everybody
you go.
that's with us right now. We got what do we have? 65 people watching. We all gonna crash
Sweet.
Cabana's party right after this one.
There we go. Right on.
There we go.
Actually, that's a simp army. Yes,
So
he does.
what's the vibes, Toby? What are we
so
doing?
Here we
All-time
are.
lows or what?
Now, here's something I do have to apologize because it was so recent. I have not had a chance to go and add all my fancy drawings on TradingView, who now actually tracks some Pulsechain assets.
Yes.
You can see PulseX there. You can see Pulse there. You can see Ink there. You can see EHEX as always, which I have up here. And then you can see HEX on Pulsechain now. So pretty exciting stuff. I mean, only a year of, bi-weekly or at the very least monthly support tickets from me personally, as well as whoever followed my lead on that. Because, when you're paying for a subscription for TradingView, which I enjoy very greatly, it's pretty frustrating when they will not list the assets that you hold most dear. So finally, they're there. Also, I would encourage everyone to reach out to your favorite TA people out there beyond our RH ecosystem, like Eric Crown, like Silicon Crypto, like Big Ched. There's a ton of other ones out there. Mitch something. There's tons of TA guys. Mitch Ray. There's tons of them that have not adequately followed Pulsechain stuff because what? They use TradingView and they have their own indicators that they did not have access to until now. So if they know that, that's more eyeballs on Pulsechain, more people talking about it. Hey, maybe more degen traders, but whatever. It's
Just
eyeballs.
about to say more people chasing meme coins.
Hey, whatever it takes to get them through the door, and then hopefully they, a subset of them gets a dose of the philosophy that I heard you guys talking about earlier in the stream. TrueBlue, good to see you, by the way. Always enjoy when I see you on streams. And you are, as your name would indicate, TrueBlue. So you absolutely ascribe to what I'm talking about here, where it's DeFi principles. It's about self-sovereignty, self-custody, delayed gratification, all those things. So I think however we get them over here, if there's a fraction of them that learn about HEX, well, what's HEX? And then they learn about T-shares and the rest of it. Hey, that's a net win long-term because we know what's going to happen to all of this trade, the meat grinder, the trader mentality.
Yep.
Most of those guys get chewed up and spit out. The guys that get the nuggets of wisdom of delayed gratification and using the best store of wealth ever created, in my opinion, which is HEX, they're going to be around, right? And they're going to be
Toby, just to amplify exactly what you said, it just clicked. That whole TradingView thing that Richard tweeted out last week and that you're talking about now needs to be disseminated, that information needs to go to all these other crypto influencers so that they now see that on their freaking trading view, they can chart Hex, Pulse, PulseX, and Inc.
Yep.
We really need to make sure that gets out. That just clicked. And thanks a lot for enlightening me. All of us have to go out and get those people understanding.
Absolutely. I mean, that's why I've been beating that drum forever, because I knew that was a barrier. That was a bottleneck. It's like, why is Eric Crown not talking about? Why are these guys not talking about? It's like
they said no trading view. Yeah.
They can't use their trading view to use it. Now, even now, I mean, I would have much rather have been from the beginning. And then, they could have been talking about the oscillations. But even if they come in now just to shit on how bad our charts look, I'm okay with that. Come on in, because people are going to see opportunities, like real traders and real people that are looking for bargains.
Yep.
They're going to see the opportunity. So eyeballs. So speaking of eyeballs, my favorite, our firstborn son, HEX, the contrarian play, if you will. I saw Johnny Chaos really leaning hard into the HEX lately, which I love, and I love Johnny. And
he's handing out blocks on Twitter. It's like,
dude, I'm telling you, it's like he's a fire starter, and it's
catches a lot of heat.
Hardware wallet.
He does the same thing.
Yes,
he did the thing. I saw you, DJ Cryptomatic, where you called him out, right? Like, it's like he said there were only 22,000 holders.
Yeah,
bro, it's like that's on the Pulsechain. That's the HEX that's been bridged to Pulsechain. There's like, what do you say? You showed like 300 and some thousand, which is
it's 333, and we have 340K on the Pulsechain side. So it's still fairly equal, but he's right on the Go Pulse website. They only show what is liquid Hex Classic on Pulsechain. That's 22,000.
Yep. Well, he pulled a trick out of Sami's bag, which is he only gives part of the information because it's more hyperbolic.
He probably knows.
And it's like, come on, bro. It's like you guys are both doing the same thing. So it's like, all right, whatever it takes to get your spiel out there. God bless you both. I think they're counterpoints to each other. I love them both. I'm glad that we've got them. I think they both are necessary components of a dynamic system. So speaking of which, here, I think HEX has held up better than everything over the last several weeks. It's like, it's not too hard to see that it's been pretty steadily sideways, where we've had some more steep downs than the other stuff that we'll look at. We're currently at 00155. You can see that little red line coming across the bottom here, and that's touching right on the candle closes of all of these low dips that we had back in April. So this should be pretty strong support, even if we wick lower to the bottom of this descending parallel orange channel. I would fully expect a daily close right where we're at. So, that seems highly likely, considering we had 1, 2, 3, 4 daily closes right on that when we were trying to go lower before. But once again, the trend is your friend. And even though we're relatively sideways, the trend is slightly down, right? So if we don't
get a nice way of putting it.
If we can't get, punched through this yellow 21 EMA, this little squiggly guy that we've tried to bust through a few times and just can't quite make it, until we can start using that as support and no longer have it as resistance, it's like, I would see this trend continuing. But with that being said, I think, this HEX to me seems like the most stable of the Richard Hart tokens. I know it's like the bastard child or whatever, but I love my HEX and I see value there. Moving on.
It's not the bastard child. It's the black sheep of the family, because it's full-blooded firstborn.
It's the gimp in the basement. Is that what it is?
Hey, Toby, where's the BankX sell wall start on that chart?
That was they moved it. They removed it
away.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it used to be up like around, what was it? 1.2 cents to 2 cents, I think, is where it was.
Yeah,
way long time ago. So obviously we've been below a penny for a minute. So they nixed that, and I'm not sure if they've spread that around in some V3 liquidity or how they're doing that now exactly.
Man, I don't know how I missed that. My bad.
Yeah, it's not the big block like it was that was so omnipresent. So they've progressively gotten smarter. Eventually, I expect them to wake up and realize that they should be doing rolling stakes, right?
100%.
So slowly but surely, they've gotten smarter with how they're using their stuff. But it's an old white guy like me, so some of those guys aren't as bright as other old white guys. So you gotta give them a little time to catch up.
He might even be.
So that was Hex. Bouncing on over to Pulse. So as we saw last week, we have this descending yellow death channel going down into the right.
That's what my wife calls my member, by the way.
There you go, the death channel. Wow.
Yeah.
It's spelled, what is it?
It's still descending.
morte or mort. It's a little death is an orgasm, right? In French. Never mind. Okay, so
Japanese.
Okay, we'll talk about it later. We'll talk about our orgasm later. Really wants to hear this. Yeah, exactly. Grown. So down and to the right with this yellow parallel channel, and then we started to jog out of it to the right, and we saw that there could potentially be this white triangle forming. Of course, we were hoping that it would punch upward, but because, like I said last week, since it has more of it's an asymmetric triangle, so instead of it being completely symmetric, which is like, both sides are equal and like I can't think of the term right now, but it's asymmetric. One side, basically one side is flat. It's like a right triangle, right? The bottom is flat, the top is sloped. If it was the other way around, that would be bullish, right? So if you got the flat top and the angled bottom, that's bullish. If it's the other way around,
you mean isosceles? Not right triangle looks like this because it's a right.
Well,
angle.
It is a right triangle if we drew the last leg. Here's your right angle right there in the corner. Yep.
But continue.
Geometry will be on my stream following Cabana's.
Geometry 101 with Toby as the student.
Wilford Brimley and his shitty mustache. So
continue.
So here we go. So it
enhance.
So it broke down.
What does it, Toby? What does it take for this to turn around? I'm starting to get Zen vibes here with the forever down situation.
We got to just say fuck the bad vibes and look at reality. And I think what's going to turn it around is, to be realistic, probably 3 or 4 more months. I think we're going to get some anticipation going into the October meeting in November in New York. And, depending on how that news plays out, it could be a sell the news. If it's like a wharp and we don't really get any good shit out of it, it could be that, and it could be a sell the news situation. Or if it's significantly good news, we could continue to pump through that, right? And then going into the end of the year and into the new year. How long that's sustainable, it all depends on what's going on in the broader markets. It's when people think that the Bitcoin and the Ethereum runs are over and they start to rotate into, like, they start looking for better gains elsewhere. We got to wait. We got to wait.
Altcoin season.
The last chart's the Bitcoin chart. So it's like, we'll see kind of when that could potentially play into this. But realistically, it's like, I see more sideways and down. I hate to say it. I hope, like Papa and I talked about this earlier this week when I'm not really in tears, but maybe
you're cutting onions. I know.
Deep in my crypto soul, I was a little teary. Is like, we're what 35% away from the all-time low on Pulse. So
we did it.
Got the chart up. Well, look at that terrible shit. So way down here, we were at 4 zeros and a 3-4. Those are on the daily closes. If we go down to the wicks, we're at a 3-3. So, you take the measured on that, and it's like from where we are now, you're looking, that's a 30, now it's about a 30% move down, 28% from here. So we're not out of the woods. There is a possibility that we retest those lows, which I would, that sucks, but it's opportunity for those with dry powder, in my opinion. We should get some support along the way around the 4045 mark. Looks like there was a lot of price action there. Again, down at the 4 flat, 4 zeros and a 4. But we break that, and it's I don't think it would be out of the question that we would retest the lows. So without some significant news, because look at how far we are below the 21 EMA. Like, look at that. Like, we're not even close. That 21 EMA is that little squiggle right there.
Hold on a second, Toby. Right. Toby, I wanted to just had a epiphany. What if all this is negated in your time frame for things to actually happen or get some kind of good news in October? What if we get even better news that the SEC is no longer on the case in terms of determining,
which is also by October.
It's also in October. So what if that were to happen? What if this convergence of good news happened at that point, and then no crypto is security? It's all commodities. It's all regulated under a completely different bureau. What do you think of that?
It's good and it's bad, because that's good news for everyone, not just us.
Yeah.
Right. So it could take some pressure off of other things that have had kind of a ceiling on them. But I think because we have such a strong community and we're going to be so vocal about it, and Richard Hart, hopefully the gag order's lifted, and God, can you imagine if the SEC had to pay his legal fees what
Oh
kind
my
of victory
God.
laps he would get out of that.
Victory laps.
Holy humble Richard. That
Yeah, that would be
that
taken
would
off. Wouldn't
be epic, dude. So I mean, believe me, between our community and him, the man himself, if that were to come to pass, he's going to be on Kitco again. He's going to be on CNBC with that dude again. He's going to be everywhere, right?
Yeah.
So it's
I don't.
blue sky.
I think the best case scenario. I think that if the SEC says, "Look, we've been taken off the case. We'd like to settle," we will take away all of the accusations and drop the case in exchange for you not horsing around and making us pay your legal fees. That would be fine.
That's not best case. Best case is he gets the same kind of judgment he just tweeted about. That's best case.
Well, I think that he would say, no, I don't want to settle. I want to see this through. And then the SEC, which no longer has any jurisdiction or taxed with the burden of actually seeing it through in court with a case that's going to fail.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't see them pursuing it. I think the judge would throw it out and make a judgment like they did in the case that he just tweeted about, where they would be responsible for the legal fees on the other side, which would be would be the grand slam, in my opinion.
Yeah, truly.
That's the truly grand slam of grand slams, like bottom of the ninth World Series grand slam. So if that were the case, I mean, it's blue sky breakout time, especially on the EHEX side, because the liquidity is still relatively thin. But I think across the board on the RH assets, and all this stuff that is like slowly, it's like a slow bleed out into all of like meme coin territory and like derivative plays and, hey, buy my thing to burn this other thing. And because that burns it, it's going to make Hex go up, instead of like what Crispy and I say week in and week out on Maddie's channel on Tuesday nights on Game Theory Gang. If you want to see the price of Hex go up, buy Hex. Hard, right? It's like you don't need all this other shit. But
let's move on. Come on. So we got more charts.
Trying to do their thing. So anyhow, moving along. So we broke down. We didn't only go the full measured move of the breakdown, but extended it. And it's been slow, and it's not even retested the top of the channel that it broke out of, kind of sort of to the side. So same deal. I'd consider this down and to the right for the foreseeable future. Areas of support I would look for, like I said before, quadruple 045, quadruple 04. If we break that, then I'd be looking for a potential retest of the all-time low. Moving on to Pulse X. Similar situation here. We had the orange descending parallel channel. The good news on that is that we didn't break out, but we haven't like just fallen off the cliff either. The support on this one is going to be way down at 4013, which is a considerable drop from where we are now at 4 zeros and a 2. So that's where I would look for like kind of drop dead support on that one, unless we're really going to get ugly and go all the way down to its all-time low, which is 5 zeros and an 8.
Why does Pulse drop harder than Pulse X?
I think because Pulse is paired with so many things, including all the aforementioned shitcoin-ery, right? So all that stuff being paired with that, it's like they help each other and they hurt each other, right? So if you have a lot of stuff going down that's paired with Pulse, it's going to drag it down. And they're all praying for Pulse to just get this big influx to pull them back up. So it's going to be this weird seesaw effect with the bonding of liquidity to various other dog shit. Yeah. So that's just the nature of liquidity. So moving right along, once again, significantly below the 21 EMA, if we maybe kind of make a small correction back up to the upside, 4022, if we touch the top side, but again, trend is your friend. I'm looking for support right now at 4019. We'll see if we can hold there and maybe start to slowly round out and turn around. It's ugly. And then moving on to Hex, the copy of Hex over on Pulsechain. Similar situation. Now, this was more of a symmetric triangle. So it's, like slopey on both sides, not a right triangle. And back about 2 weeks ago, we were looking at the breakdown of that. And we thought, okay, well, hopefully we'll kind of swing it back around and break to the upside. Sorry, folks. Didn't happen. Didn't get the full move of that triangle yet. Considerably below the 21 EMA again. And not far from the most significant region, which I'd be looking at, is 0054. If we go back to the all-time low close, then you're looking at 0036. So pretty brutal. And over time, just like flopping back over here, this is EHEX. See how it's pretty level? You go to HEX, it's pretty steeply down. So what has happened? The ratio has changed. The market is deciding once again, and now we're at about a 4-to-1, right? We were at about a 2-to-1 ratio before, somehow a little elbow got put on the scale and everyone reacted like they reacted. And we ended up with crazy valuations of like 10-to-1 down to 8-to-1, 6-to-1. Now we're at 4-to-1. So it's kind of creeping back. I'm not going to go so far as to say parity, but, 4-to-1, I'm liking it. So that's that. And I gave you an idea of the downsides on this one as well. So then let's go on to Ink, the favorite child of the group. And we had this one, not quite a symmetric triangle, but not quite, a full-on descending triangle either, more symmetric than descending. But it did break to the downside, not quite the full move. And we are kind of below this for this bottom level of the channel it had been in. It's been pretty strong of the bunch, and 250 is held up really, really well repeatedly through here. So I would hope to see support here and just start to curve back up. But again, you'd have to have a pretty strong influx of new capital coming in to support that and to stop the people that are dumping it to either go back into fiat or go into stables or to rotate into other things they see that has better value. Because I think that's the problem with Ink in particular is it's kind of a forever dump coin, right? Unless you're gonna rotate it back in and farm with it in some of those pairs, what are people doing with it? That's their goodie bag, right? They're gonna sell their Ink and they're gonna go fuck around with meme coins and other garbage, or thinking that they can do a double, triple, whatever while Ink goes sideways or down. So until we get. We got to get like this, right? Like over here, see this big shocking wham. And then everyone's like, oh shit, maybe I shouldn't have sold my Ink at 40 cents, right? Could you imagine being that guy? So it's like, until we get some of those wake up calls, and it seems like people's memories in crypto are shorter and shorter, it is not timing the market. It's time in the market. So for me, I'm doing my best to hold steady with all of my, even though I'm tempted. Papa can tell you, I'm tempted to sell some of my Ink too and come back and buy it later cheaper. But I'm like, what if I try that method and then, next week it jumps, from 250 back up to $6. And then I was trying to outsmart the market, So that's where, maybe it's call me a weakling or fearful or whatever.
You're weakling and fearful.
No, we call you the TA Furu.
The TA Furu. At your service, gentlemen.
All right. Well, thank you, Toby. And DJ, you want to thank our guest for coming by and staying up extra late when he's got all those children to take care of?
No, he's staying up. He's getting up extra early.
Early.
The wake up show.
That's right. He's walking upside down. Lower hemisphere.
TrueBlue, thank you for joining us. Any last words? Where can people find you? Anything else you'd like to share with our audience?
Thank you guys for having me, and Papa, thanks for not letting the community get wrecked and keeping strong on the safety stuff, security, and Toby and DJ. You're big guys that we look up to. A lot of other people do, and we really love what you guys do, and just the consistency is what we need in the community. Everyone just keep going and keep the good sentiment. But I'm on DefiDownUnder YouTube channel, which is a Aussie happy hour, I do, and that's in about less than 10 hours from
today,
now. So,
right?
So it's a double up for me today.
A long day for you.
You've doubled it up, but no, feel truly blessed to be on here and be a part of this. And thanks for inviting me. It's been really good fun, and I'll get out of bed any day for you guys. So thank you.
It's been a pleasure to have you, and come back again, please, anytime.
I'd love to.
So here's what we're going to do. We're going to raid over to the.
Yeah. We forgot something. We forgot Bitcoin. Can you give me 45 seconds to go over the Bitcoin chart?
Yeah.
I swear I can do it in 45.
Go.
This is huge. This is like, we got to leave with some hopium, right? All right. So last week we were talking about the bull flag potential on this, and we had this over here, and we're like, well, if we continue up, because we had this nice upswing up to like the upper 60s, almost 70,000, and said, hey, look at there. That breakout would take us right up here to the upper trend line, and potentially we get an early breakout to 100K. Well, it's rounded over a bit. But if you look here, let me see if I can brighten that up really quickly.
Enhance.
So if you see this little line behind it, kind of like this mustard yellow line, that's the fractal that we've been watching forever. And what has happened? It dipped down. It made the first pop up. Theoretically, we should drop down again all the way down to about $42,000. However, because of all the bullish sentiment, especially with the ETFs, I think we either stay in this channel or we break out of it shortly. So it could be anytime from June to possibly end of August, which would go right back along with this fractal, which shows that second top that we had in the previous cycle. So I would see that second top continuing, and Bitcoin easily hitting 100,000. Maybe some overshot to Richard's call it 250. We do that.
That's not some overshot. That's a 2.5x. That's ridiculous.
2.5x in crypto is nothing. And there's people out there like Jack Mahler from Strike, I think, that's a big Bitcoin exchange, calling for $1 million Bitcoin this cycle. So if we hit 100,000 even or 250, you're looking at Ethereum at 10,000. And, we know about the Stack Daddy. Blue skies, boys. I think we're in good shape by the end of the summer. So fuck your bad vibes. Thank you for the add-on TA segment.
Awesome.
And then you can find me here on Thursdays with these wonderful fellows, and then Tuesday nights with Maddie. But always a pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Wookie says 1 milli. That sounds nice.
Let's do it.
All right. Thank you, guys. Thank you for watching. Please follow the channel, smash the likes, and link is in the chat. We're going to raid over to the Cabana Crypto Happy Hour right about now. Click the link and make sure to spam their chat. Let them know that we sent you. He's got Hexy Bastard up there, Steve Hitson. And I think it's a wrap. See you guys on the next one.
Sounds good. See you later.
Outro.